What's going on?
There you are, mate. You're muted.
I'm muted.
I can read your lips. She said, "Am I muted?"
Oh, can you hear me now? You can't hear me, can you? What's going on? Oh, there we go.
I can't hear a word you're saying.
Yeah, that's all right. Give me a second. Headphones, test speaker. Oh, that's working. Okay.
Yeah, your audio's going up and down. I wonder if it's a problem with my machine here.
I'm working okay.
You can hear me, right?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. I can't hear you.
That's no good, eh?
I wonder what's going on.
It could be if you go down the.
I've got a new computer.
Corner. Yeah. There's an option. Hang on, I'll put something in the chat.
Speaker. Oh, this might be the problem. Speaker.
Tests.
Headphones. Did that do anything? Talk to me, Hendo.
I can still hear you. Oh, there we go.
Here we go. Hang on a second. Now go.
Okay.
Hit me with some Hendo. There we go. Yeah. We got this. Brilliant. Well, I've upgraded computers and clearly it's going well.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Wow. 7 years.
Yeah, there's been problems, small problems. It's been good for a very long time, but I upgraded to basically exactly the same computer.
Yeah.
God, it's good. It's fast as shit.
I've been called an influencer before. Did I influence you finally to go and get a new laptop?
Maybe you did. Maybe you planted the seed. It's got the touch.
7 years is a long time.
Fucking game changer.
Good on you, mate.
Yeah. Everyone else at work had a new computer, so I thought, why not? Splash out. You just took a sip of that beer, Hendo. What are you working with?
I've got a specific ale.
Do you really?
Yeah.
A Stone and Wood one?
No, it's a specific ale, I said.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I'm not good at English.
It's literally a specific ale from Alice Springs Brewing Company.
That's amazing. I wondered if that had been done.
It's been done. Kyle from Alice Springs Brewing Company sent me some beers from the middle of the country, the middle of nowhere. So
is this the beer mail you put in the group? This
is the beer mail that I was telling you about in the group. So it's tasting pretty good for traveling halfway across the country. It's not too bad.
What have we got here? Show us that can there.
Yeah, there we go. So it says Alice Springs Brewing Company Specific Ale. I don't know if you can see it in forward or reverse. I can see it in reverse. I think that's just how Zoom works there.
Yeah.
It says, loaded with Galaxy, specifically from nowhere near the Pacific.
Okay, that's fine.
There you go.
Show us the glass. It doesn't look like a specific ale.
I actually nearly poured this into a Stone and Wood glass. Oh, it's got a bit of haze to it.
Yeah,
it's not too bad. Bitterness is a bit more firm than the original.
That's okay. Don't mind a bit of bitterness.
But it's nice. Got a bit of fruit to it. Tastes pretty good.
I thought it'd be fun to do a questionable IP series of beers and do a specific ale and do all the other ones that we tend to do anyway, not as part of a questionable IP series.
Yeah.
But, you know, everyone rips off each other's shit. So
yeah, of course. Where's your beer?
Oh, I've got a beer here. I'll show you. This is my beer.
Eggnog Stout, the OG. Stout.
It is because we had our yesterday was our 7-year anniversary of the very first Eggnog Stout. So
congratulations.
Thanks. The first commercial one, actually. So that was 7 years ago today. We actually launched Black Hops. So that's a fun.
Was that those photos that I saw you at? Was that Hoo Ha Bar?
Hoo Ha Bar, yeah.
Yeah.
So because I'm doing NoHopVember.
November.
Yeah. Well, there is hops in here, but you know.
Yeah.
I'm staying away from the hazies and the.
Yeah, that's the way. Yeah. You'll thank me for it in December.
I actually haven't been doing that well on that, though. I'm going to be completely honest. Right. So on the 1st of November, I was like, okay, I'm going to have a beer to celebrate whatever it was, Sunday or whatever it was.
Mm-hmm.
I went to Treetops to find a beer that didn't have hops in it.
Right.
And there wasn't much, to be honest. I looked through everything. And then I saw that sweet Bolter can with all the beautiful colors on it, the Wonderland, Hazy Wonderland one.
Uh-huh.
And I had to grab that because it wouldn't be around. I had to drink, you got to drink that beer fresh. So I just thought, okay, it's the 1st of November. It's like the mustache that I'm growing for Movember. It takes time. So you get better throughout the month.
Yep.
So you start slow. So I just had that one.
Yeah. Look, this honestly, November, if you're going to have a no hop month of the year, in my opinion, I think November is the month to do it, right? Because the hop harvest in the US is kind of happening now. Or it starts this, I think it starts this month and that sort of thing, kind of happens about now, right? The Southern Hemisphere harvest doesn't start until sort of March-ish, April, that sort of thing, right? So all the beers that are hoppy beers that are coming out now, fresh, have kind of like the oldest hops that you'll get of the year.
Right.
That's the oldest they'll be of the current like harvest and that sort of thing, right? And the hop growers, they package them well and that sort of thing, right? So if you're just down for the fresh fix constantly and that sort of thing, this is actually a good month to sort of abstain from hops.
That's fair. Well, if you're a Black Ops customer listening to this, then don't listen to anything Hendo just said.
No, absolutely not. No, I've seen what's coming, which is very exciting. I have some very good students. I won't mention it. And
do they like posting on Facebook? Those students?
No, we're verboten. We were told when we got handed this beer that it was verboten to post on social media.
Well, someone posted it on social media, so that's ruined our low fill policy forever.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
One of my students?
I don't know. He wouldn't give up his source, so no more low fills for limited release beers.
Yeah. Okay. That's interesting.
Yeah.
There's lots of other beers styles you can try if you're going to have no hop November. And I think we should talk about some of those.
Yeah, well, I had a late A before, so I just had a lager. I'm not. Yep. I mean, I'll keep persisting, but I'm not particularly into lager. This is tasting delicious. I'm not going to drink too many of these, but
go and get yourself a nice dry Irish stout or something like that. I think stout's a great drink for the summer.
Yeah.
Don't let it be the winter drink. That's silly.
Hey, we launched the business with a stout in November.
Yeah, but I'm just talking a straight up, Guinness style dry Irish stout. They're so good to drink.
Yeah. Well, I've got that Helios Imperial one in the fridge too.
Oh, great. Yeah. That's good.
So we'll see how long we talk. I don't want
to
particularly want to drink a 9% beer, but if we're still going after an hour, you never know.
Yeah, there you go. You're looking very fresh faced.
Yeah, I've done I did the shave on the weekend, and I'm growing this for a couple of days, and then because I'm doing Movember. So I'm going to shave this down and then just have the Tiger King thing happening, but I don't want to do it before there's nothing there. So I think maybe Friday.
I think it's a good cause. Have you raised much money yet?
$1,000
already.
Yep.
That's amazing.
We're actually up to Black Ops is just under $5,000. We've got 12 people doing it, I think.
What's your MoSpace name?
Well, if you're listening to this, you can go to blackops.com.au/donate, and you'll be taken to the Black Ops team. And so we've got Kale, who shaved his whole beard off, and he looks like a child.
Wow.
Raylo, who shaved his beard off, he kind of looks like Eddie Vedder, and also
I saw that. I couldn't believe that was Raylo.
Have you seen Kale?
Couldn't believe it.
Yeah, those two, they look very strange. We've also got Riley.
But they look the same when they got beards, though.
They do.
It's like Raylo and Frelo.
Exactly right. Yeah, but they look very different without beards.
Yeah, it's amazing.
And Riley, our taproom manager, has probably the longest beard. Not a thick beard like the Raylos, but probably the longest beard. He's going to shave his off when when Black Ops gets to 5,000, which will be very soon, especially if our loyal listeners get on and donate. So yeah, and we've got a HR guy, Dan, who just cannot grow a beard or a mustache at all. So that's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
He's about 12 years old. So yeah, it's going to be fun.
That's good, man.
Yeah.
You look like it's like you look like thinner.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
I don't mind it. I think it's fine. But I think once I've got that Tiger King thing happen, I'm thinking also sideburns.
Yeah.
I think that'd be fun.
Okay. Isn't the idea with Movember that you're supposed to just start with the shape, not grow a beard and then trim it?
Yeah, I've been lazy. I'll do it. I'll do it tomorrow.
I'll do it tomorrow, man.
I'll do it tomorrow and I'll post in the group. It's only 3 days in, but yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
You've got to sculpt that shit out, you know?
Yeah. I bought a razor. I haven't shaved with a razor in, I don't think, since I was at QR, which is probably 2002.
Wow.
Something.
Don't cut yourself coming around the back straight, mate.
I don't know. Yeah. I mean, it's weird. You don't just cut your face off. How does that work? I don't know. Well, you don't know.
I don't know. It's been a year for me, a bit over a year since 18 months or so since I started growing my beard.
Well, it's a good cause. I've got another little milestone here. We've passed 1,000 downloads total on the podcast.
Really?
Yeah.
We started with 12.
Yeah. No,
cool.
No, we had 12. Wait, we had 12 MailChimp subscribers, I think.
Yeah.
But we've got we're getting a couple of hundred downloads per episode, so we're up to.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, we're up to over 1,000.
Thanks to everybody who's downloading the episodes. Hope you're enjoying it.
Yeah, that is good. Should we have a little goal or something? Do you think?
I don't know.
If we get to 10,000, we do something fun.
My aspiration. Yeah, we could do something like that. My aspiration is just to enjoy the chat.
Yeah, that's fair.
Oh, I thought of another NoHopVember beer.
Okay.
I missed you at the Maddock thing last Friday night.
Yeah, when did you leave?
I got there at 5:30. So,
and I was last.
I was last at the door, mate.
No, you weren't.
Jimmy and Emily said to kick us out.
I was there, mate.
Friday night or Saturday night?
Friday.
What?
Yeah.
No.
100%. I was there. Well, I had to go to that young entrepreneur thing, but I think that was on at 7. So I would have left it. I left it about 10 to 7, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
We must have just been strangers in the fucking night or something like that.
Yeah. No, I saw a bunch of people there. It was good.
Yeah, it was good fun. We didn't get to talk about hitting up Gubsy and Eddie for a beer.
No, I thought about that today. Did you see Eddie there?
No, I missed Eddie. Didn't see Eddie either. So
no, I don't think
like if you want a no hop beer is the Grodzitsky.
Yes. No, I thought about that today. I'll have a chat to. I couldn't. I was going to talk to Gubs about it, but I couldn't remember how it was pronounced.
Mm.
So I left that alone. But
if you sort the other stuff, or if we sort that with Eddie and Gubs, I'll propagate the yeast for it.
It's probably a little bit late for November, but we could probably still do it.
No, but that's okay. We can make it in November.
Yeah.
And we can celebrate, you know, it's like the Boss and the Brewer Vintage 2021 beer, which is a Grodzitsky celebrating No Hop November in December or something. I don't know.
Oh, wow. Okay. I'm loving all of this. With our little characters on the front of the thing.
Oh, if you want to put our ugly faces on a beer and no one buys it, cool.
Well, I'll buy it.
You've put I've always said I'd never put my face on a fucking beer label, and you guys have done that.
Yeah, I didn't ask permission.
No, that's all right.
Same as is it Craig from Big Shed?
Craig and Jace from Big Shed.
Yes, they were on there as well. I don't even know them. I put their face on a label and didn't even ask them.
That's all right.
It was a long time ago. Hopefully they're okay.
Yeah. Well, that's all right. They got it. Have you seen them? Have you listened to their podcast?
You tagged me in it. It was good, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's really interesting chat, you know, and the way they put it together with the on YouTube there is really cool. It's got that and that's what I reckon kind of vibe happening with it.
What does that mean?
Have you not watched That's What I Reckon?
I don't think so. What is it?
You've never seen that cooking show on YouTube?
No, I haven't.
Are you serious?
It sounds like I need to.
Yeah, it's called Nat's. What the guy's name's Nat. And
Okay.
It's called Nat's What I Reckon. Just search that, and He does all these different recipes. Start with I don't know. He did a risotto. Spag bowl's pretty good. All he's just cooks and he swears.
Oh, I like that. I like
You'd
swear
love
words.
You'd
Well,
love it.
I think what they did was really good. It looks like they got someone to kind of really put a lot of time into kind of adding some fun stuff into it and little.
Yeah, absolutely. No, they're doing good. I think it's a good fun show, and it's short. It's like, I think, they probably talk for a lot longer than what it winds up being on YouTube. But it's a short 10-minute thing. I've forgotten the bloody name of the show. What was it called?
I saw it on LinkedIn, which is my new favorite social media network after
posting
it last night.
I've seen your LinkedIn action,
mate. We're going off on LinkedIn. We're going hard.
Yeah, absolutely. We just got to tag each other on like LinkedIn all the time and that sort of thing. So
yeah, what I actually don't remember the name of it either, but I thought it was cool.
Oh, here it is. Really well done. Behind the Brews.
Yep,
it's called. So I've been watching it on YouTube. But if you are hardcore into online video, you have to watch it on LinkedIn.
Yeah, mate. If you're a LinkedIn guy like me, you love LinkedIn. That's how to do it. I think any brewer doing their own content's fucking awesome. And I saw.
Look, they covered some interesting topics and that sort of thing, and ABAC was one this week, and non-alcoholic, the issue with non-alcoholic beer. They actually raised some really good points about ABAC, and which I'd sort of not really considered before. And
what was the point about ABAC that they wanted to be contacted if it was a frivolous kind of thing?
Yeah, so basically the points were, which is one of them points I've sort of spoken about before, which is basically you can get your products pre-vetted by ABAC, and you pay for that privilege. It's like $350 an hour to have all your marketing material pre-vetted by somebody. But then if somebody makes a complaint, all that pre-vetting doesn't count.
No.
All right.
Yeah, and then, kind of a scam.
Yeah, it is kind of a scam. And then the other thing that they raised was that when a complaint is raised, that it's not innocent until proven guilty, it's guilty until proven innocent, which is kind of how they worded it, right? Is that you have to, you've got to, you've got to prove yourself to be innocent and not the other way around. And so,
but there's also no consequences of being guilty, is there?
Correct. Yeah, exactly. It's unenforceable.
Yeah.
ABAC also can't proactively investigate either. They can only respond to complaints.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's a strange system. We used it for like we always, whenever we do a beer, we've got all those little criteria on there. Is it going to be appealing to minors? Is it going to be offensive to, all that kind of stuff? We're pretty careful with that shit. But sometimes it's just like, I don't know, it's kind of borderline. But when we did the first and only billboard we've ever done, when we launched East Coast Haze, it was literally just the East Coast Haze can with the blue background, and it said made by three mates on the Gold Coast.
Yeah.
Because I just couldn't think of a better tagline, and it was kind of relevant. I thought it'd be a new audience.
That does the job.
Just left it there. And then the billboard company said, no, it needs to be ABAC approved to put it on a billboard.
Correct. And you know why that's the case?
Well, so they don't get sued, I guess. I don't
know. Because the billboard company is a signatory to the ABAC code.
Right. Yeah. So I replied to them and said, that's stupid. There can't be anything wrong with saying made by three mates on the Gold Coast. That's a waste of time. And they said, well, you have to do it. So I did it. And then they came back and they said, no, you should put the word beer on the billboard so people know that it's beer. So we put beer, made by three mates on the Gold Coast.
Okay, then.
So we got that covered.
It's very pedantic, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, I get it. I support the ABAC, regime and that sort of thing. Because I tell you what, like having ABAC and quasi regulations way better than full blown government regulation. Imagine being like how the American brewers are, right? So imagine you come up with a beer, and you make a label for it, and that every label has to be approved by one guy in the US.
He must be busy.
He must be very busy.
Yeah, yeah.
And if he doesn't like you, he really doesn't like you.
Yeah, that would be shit. good on ABAC and good on Big Shed for creating some content. I saw Revel
Yeah.
who do a podcast put they're back in action as well. That's always
back
good.
in action. Oh, their new thing opens this Saturday at
Yes.
River Makers, which should be good fun. I'm heading down on Friday night for the soft launch for
Nice.
friends and family and that sort of thing. So that's 2 brewery launches in 2 weeks. So
very good. It's this Saturday. We've got the Black Ops Brisbane birthday, Revel's opening, yeah, Brewski's birthday, and Armageddon all on Saturday.
Wow.
Yeah, it's going to be it's a big week for beer in Brisbane.
I didn't realize that. So much for doing renovations this weekend. I'm going to be on the beers.
So before I get onto your renovations, what do you think of Matic?
Excellent. Excellent. I don't think you can, name 2 just wonderful people, like Jimmy and Annalise. They're absolutely amazing people. They've done such a great job with their rebrand. It looks amazing. I've had a bit of a sneak peek of what's coming. It's amazing. The venue is great. They park up the food truck or the caravan there, and right out the front, the venue is great. It's comfortable. The beers are good.
It's pretty big, isn't it? And they got all of upstairs as well.
They got upstairs, which I think they're going to use as like a function space and that sort of thing, which is pretty good. Lovely area out the front, and some, AstroTurf and all that sort of thing.
Yeah.
The beers are good. Like, it's hard to do. Like, they've decided not to go down the path of doing like pale ales and IPAs and lagers and that sort of thing, to really pull that point of difference. And that's risky play, man.
Yeah.
Risky play. But the lager is very, very good. Very good. I would probably go as far as it's going to give Rattenhund and Lucky 13 a run for its money.
Yeah, nice.
That good. Pilsner-wise. I think it's great.
Yeah.
There's another Pilsner. I drank I drank all the beers. They got a nice mid-strength coming out soon. And yeah, they're doing good. The tanks are full. They're ready to smash out some beers, and I think they're doing all right.
Yeah, agreed. And I think Jimmy did a lot of that. He was like explaining all the stuff he did himself. It looks mint, didn't it? Sounds like he did a shitload of work. It's just crazy. Like when we started, we did a lot of that stuff ourselves for HQ, but it's just, I remember when we went and looked at Ether, when they were building their kind of second, just the one at Northgate.
Northgate, yeah.
Like, yeah, we're doing this all ourselves where, we just build the cold room. I'm like, man, it's just to do all that yourself is just, I don't know, it's hectic. It's just hectic.
I know.
I just couldn't imagine doing it anymore.
It's a massive undertaking.
Yeah.
And then the thing is, right, is you go down the path of doing all of this construction work and decorating and all that sort of stuff. And there's no end to that, because what happens at the end? You open the doors and you're trading. That's busy.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Did
you go to the brewery in the garage?
Yeah. A couple of times. Yeah.
How cool was that?
Life would have been much more simpler for them then.
I thought that was the coolest. I think that they just opened this brewery.
How they got a DA for that is beyond me.
I don't think they did. I think they just didn't realize you weren't allowed to do it and just sent it. That was my understanding.
Fuck, right, that's good.
How good. And then someone complains and they're like, you're not allowed to have a brewery and tap room in your garage in a suburb. And they're like, oh shit, didn't know that.
Really? Sorry about that. Hey?
Yeah, it was the coolest. And they got that kit at the new one, so they got the pilot system there now, and the big
that's
system.
right. Yeah,
it's a big upgrade. It's a big brewery for your first kind of brewery tap room. It's good.
Yeah, I think they'll do okay.
Yeah.
Be good to see when they get some product coming out in small pack and that sort of thing, and be really good.
Yeah. Super nice too. All the people behind the bar there, we know them pretty well. Super nice people. Beers are really good. Good. There's not much up the north end of the Gold Coast either, so it's good opportunity.
No,
there's not really
good location.
Yeah, right on the main road. There's a lot of businesses around there.
Yeah, exactly. Definitely worth checking out. So if you are on the northern end of the Gold Coast in Ashmore, head on over to Maddox Beer Brewing Company, brewed by Belgians.
Absolutely, and good for
NoHopVember. That's the slogan.
NoHopVember approved.
No hop November.
No hop November.
Did you call it NoHopVember?
Yeah,
NoHopVember.
I shortened it.
Yeah, fair enough.
Each to their own.
Yeah.
How are your renos going?
Good. I had some friends come around last weekend. We painted the ceiling, which ceilings, as you know, are the whitest of white that you can get. And so
not the half lexicon.
No. That's a slightly different color, and you can actually see it when it's on the wall. They look the same in the tin, but they look different on the wall. So yeah, shout out to Duncan and Anna and Adam and Natsuko for giving me a hand. We got 2 coats in the whole apartment smashed out in half a day, which was really good.
That is good. You got the big sort of rollers, or
we had 2 sets of rollers going. So Duncan and I are on the rollers
and all that kind of shit.
No, there's no carpet, so I don't have to worry about drop sheets. That's the whole idea. Is like the whole place is gutted.
Yeah,
it's just concrete on the floor at the moment, so you can splash paint everywhere, and it's totally cool.
That's good.
Makes it so much easier. So that's all done now, which I'm very stoked about. I had a gentleman over this afternoon who's going to look at retiling the bathroom.
You're not tempted to
that sounds expensive. Oh, fuck no. Oh my God, no. I know when something's above my pay grade.
Yeah.
And tiling is definitely no. To bathrooms, no. But I'm kind of like I was thinking like I'll just leave the bathroom as it is. But the more I look at it, the more I think, oh man, I should just do it properly and then just enjoy living in the place, you know?
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be a full bathroom reno, and that's a lot of money.
Yeah. Is he going over the top, or are you thinking Jack?
I don't know yet. I haven't got the quote yet, but if I go with it, I should be able to get it done before Christmas, which would be great. So yeah. But the whole thing was with the renos, though, it's really starting to take a toll on me personally, because if you're doing renos like on the weekends, you don't have much downtime. And then you're always thinking about like renos and the money, where the money's gone and all that sort of stuff. And yeah, I woke up at 4:30 this morning and just started doing a little bit of work, because you can't sleep, might as well just do something. And
some sanding or something.
No, I wasn't doing reno. I was just doing some office work and that sort of thing. And one of the things I did was we have a family group chat, as everyone does on Facebook. I decided that I would change the name of it at 4:30 in the morning. Then I got a complaint from my sister-in-law going, "Why are you changing the name of the Facebook group at 4:30 in the morning?" I'm like,
an aggressive move.
It is pretty bold. I'll give it that. So yeah.
Well, that's good. If you've got any progress pictures, you should put them in the group. We for our loyal listeners, I can do that. We have a Facebook group, and we've got, I don't know how many people we got in there, but we've got enough to get a couple of questions.
How does one get to that?
It's actually pretty fucking hard to find, apparently, because Simpo messaged me and he's like, "Mate, I can't find this Facebook group anywhere." And I was like, I don't know.
Oh, you need to give the group a URL. Here, I can fix that.
Get that done, Hendo. I don't know about these things.
Do we just want to call it Boss and the Brewer?
Yeah, sounds good. I've moved house too. So I think last time
I can see that.
Yeah. Last time we recorded, I'd gone into HQ to do the episode because I didn't have internet here, but I've got internet here, which is nice.
Yeah, good. Do we want Boss and the Brewer or the Boss and the Brewer?
Just Boss and the Brewer, yeah.
Same as the website.
Yeah. That make it easier to find?
Okay, so now you should be able to go to facebook.com/boss and the brewer. Oh, might take a few minutes to kick in.
Yep, it says page isn't available. Oh, maybe it's group/boss.
Group/boss and the brewer. Yeah, try that.
Hendo, you've done it.
Did it work?
Fucking oath it worked.
Yes, it's worked. There you go, everybody. Facebook.com/groups/Boss and the Brewer.
That's brilliant. This is, you're watching this happen live, people. This is amazing. And when I did this little Facebook Boss and the Brewer thing, the first thing I saw was Simpo, who did eventually find the group. He's put a reply into my comment tonight about what questions you want on the show. And he says, honest thoughts on the future of bacon in beers. Because he had one opportunity to do a investor beer, and he wanted to do a bacon buddy IPA, and that's what we did. So,
well, that's a good thing about it. If you want to, that's a great idea if you want to put bacon in beer, because you actually don't have to use real bacon.
Exactly, smoked malts.
You can use Beechwood smoked malt, makes it taste like bacon.
We've got two investors who all they want, like the two investors who just desperately want their investor beer made again.
Yes.
One of them is Simpo, who wants his bacon buddy IPA, and the other one is another investor who we did Smokescreen, which is basically a smoked kind of Roush beer, I guess is the.
What is it with investors and smoke?
It's crazy. And he, like, every time I message this guy, he's like, "Yep, when are we doing Smokescreen again?" Like, fuck.
It's amazing what you can do with smoking a beer, man.
Yeah.
Because, like, remember I did that beer a few years ago, Pepper Steak Porter?
Yes.
That was just a smoked porter with I think it was cherry wood smoke.
Oh yeah.
Do you know the full name of that beer?
I can picture the label with the steak on the front.
That's right. And so basically it's the full name of that beer is Pepper Steak Porter, a vegan beer experience.
Okay, that's controversial.
Because it's actually vegan.
2021. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Why not?
Okay, you could do it then.
It was totally vegan.
Yeah. That's fair.
A little bit tongue in cheek though, but that's my style.
Very good. Well, we did get some real questions in here. Let me see.
What do you got?
Too many tabs open here. Well, you mentioned that. Oh, hang on. Wait a second. I've got a few shout outs from last week's episode. The first one was Luke Cooper. Says the first come, first served Hop Heart design. So the glass that you had.
The glass.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's a Thirsty Merchants design they use in merch. The can glass Hendo had is probably from the Queensland Beer Awards 2021. Thirsty Merchants sponsored all the judges and stewards, got a tote bag.
Got a tote bag. There you go.
There you go.
That's because Coop was a steward and he would have been either putting them together or handing them out or would have known what was happening behind the scenes. There you go. Nice.
So we've figured that one out. What do you want to get? Do you want to get some questions or some news items?
Yeah.
There's a bit of both. There's not too much. We've got well, you mentioned zero alc. This is something that's come up this week so many times for me. Like it's come up on and off over the course of the last kind of year or two. But this week I've probably been asked or seen something about this, I'd say probably 10 times.
Right.
You mentioned it briefly. Paul from the group had a question about it. There was an ABC News story today about zero alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
One of my reps, Niall, who I don't like very much. If you listen to this, Niall, I'm sorry I hung up on you in a sales meeting, but I don't like you. So that's all there is to it.
What a bastard.
Well, he's Irish. Yeah. So the ABC News article kind of talked about the growth in it. It mentioned 100% growth year on year, but it mentioned 1% market share. So it's
not bad. It's getting somewhere.
It's getting somewhere, but it's still not a lot. I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. I'm pretty lukewarm on the whole thing, but maybe I'm behind the times. I don't know.
Oh, look, I think it's there is a trend towards better for you drinks and that sort of thing. I personally, I don't have anything against brewers who want to make non-alcoholic beer. It's bloody hard to do, to get it to A, taste good, and B, be shelf stable. And because without alcohol, there's the risk of making people sick. I think I certainly don't think there's anything wrong with a brewer who wants to follow the trend of being better for you drinks and that sort of thing. If that's where the market is indeed going, it's up to us to sort of keep up with market trends. Non-alcoholic beer, I get. Non-alcoholic wine, I get. Non-alcoholic spirits, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's interesting. Non-alcoholic gin. Yeah, there's one in, I think there's a
Yeah, what
distillery
is
in
that?
Burley that's doing non-alcoholic gin.
Yeah, okay, cool. All right, so you make a non-alcoholic RTD. That's actually a thing. Did you know that's a thing? NARTD. It's a category now. That's exactly, it's fucking soft drink.
Yeah.
It's so wrong.
Have you had any
I saw it. You know where I saw it? It was in the article about Feral, Coca-Cola selling Feral.
Yeah,
there's Coca-Cola. The guy who heads up Coca-Cola Europe, whatever it is that owns Feral, actually said we're going to focus on NARTDs, non-alcoholic RTDs. And I'm there and I'm scratching my head going, it's fucking soft drink. That's kind of normal for Coca-Cola.
Yeah, well, Eddie had, when seltzers came out, Eddie had the idea of doing a soft seltzer.
Okay, Eddie, we need to chat.
It's crickets. It's a winner, isn't it?
We need to talk.
It's just soft drink.
I'm just going to put my arm around his shoulder when I see him and just take him off into the corner and say, look, mate, we got to talk.
No, I think he was being funny. I liked it. No, this non whatever word you just said, the spirits, is in this
NARTDs, yes.
Yeah. So this is
what is
non-alcoholic sector.
That's enough to make your head explode. Just go, what? It's the soft drink.
Yeah, interesting. So
makes no sense.
Have you tried any non-alcoholic beers?
Yeah, of course.
Which one?
Heineken 007.
What does that taste like? Water.
Wort.
Like sweet wort?
No, just worty, fizzy wort sort of thing. I've tried one of the sober. I can't remember which one, but I know I've tried it once. And I think someone handed me a 1 drop or big drop.
All right.
That's it.
What do you have one sip? What's your review?
Oh, and I also judged non-alc at the Indies.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
I can't tell you what they were because I have no idea.
No.
But there were some that were extremely good.
Really?
Like, it was one that, there was this one that was like a pale ale. It was nice and hoppy. And if someone didn't tell you that it was non-alcoholic, you would have gone, hey, that's a great beer. It was amazing.
Interesting. Yeah,
amazing.
I had the only one I've ever had was one of the Brewdog ones.
Mm.
I was pretty impressed. It tasted like beer.
Yeah. And that's the challenge around it, is actually to get it to taste like beer and that sort of thing. Unlike the Heineken 007, which tastes like wort.
Right.
Well,
it just kind of tasted like that kind of raw, wet, hoppy sort of beer. It was,
yeah,
more beery than it should have been, but it looked exactly like beer. Tasted more or less like beer. So I kind of get it.
Yeah. No, it's pretty good. I think it's here. I think non-alcoholic beer is here to stay. I think as soon as the pasteurization or shelf stability technology becomes cheaper, that we'll see more craft breweries doing it. I think that's the reason why a lot of craft breweries don't do it at the moment, is due to the shelf stability. You don't want pathogens. We're very lucky as brewers. We can just make beer and it doesn't make people sick because of the alcohol in it.
But a lot of those brands are just contract brewing those beers anyway.
Well, exactly. And that's where all the non-alc beer is coming from at the moment, is it's all contract brewed.
Yeah.
However, you've got non-alc breweries opening up now, like Sober's opening up a non-alc brewery, I think down the Goldie and that sort of thing. And as as soon as that technology becomes more cost effective and accessible, we'll see much more non-alcoholic beer. So yeah.
Was it Brewdog who bought a pasteurizer recently to do the non-alcoholic stuff?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
But like a pasteurizer itself is not crazy expensive, is it? I don't think.
Yeah, they're expensive, mate.
Are they?
Yeah, very expensive. Like a little flash pasteurizer. Oh, easily couple $100,000, $250,000, I think, for a small one, for a small flash. Tunnel pasteurizers, very energy intensive. Tunnel pasteurizer, flash pasteurization is very energy efficient because there's a lot of energy recovery and that sort of thing. Tunnel
just running through a hot tube.
Yeah, so they go on a big conveyor belt, and they get sprayed with hot water and then varying degrees of colder water as they progress down the tunnel to cool them back down again.
That can't be too expensive. That doesn't sound very complicated.
It's not complicated, but it's very expensive to run. You think about the energy to heat up. Like the one that we had at Southern Bay could hold 10,000 cans of beer. Think about the energy that would be required to heat 10,000 cans of beer from refrigeration temperature, which is what happens when they're bottled, up to 60 degrees Celsius in 30 seconds.
Why did they have a pasteurizer there?
Because it was modeled on the mega breweries, you know?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So,
yeah.
And the bottling machine was terrible.
What, you got another beer there, mate? It's the same one, or what do you?
I do. With? No, it's a different one. It's still from Alice Springs. Let me just
give us
pour
a
it.
Give us one sip review.
Rightio. I'll tell you what the beer is first after I've poured it. So it is Alice Springs Brewing Company, batch 37 pale.
Wow.
Pretty sure this is the only one in Queensland. Let's have a look here.
Are they just kind of ripping off everybody with their beer names? Is that the go, or?
Why? What does that mean?
I don't know. Batch.
Is batch 37 a
Well, no, but
batch number 37 is what it's.
Batch is a brewery.
Yeah, it's a brewery, but the beer is called batch number 37.
Okay, that's fine. Looks malty.
It's very pale ale. It's not too bad. Still very slight haze, but pretty well settled out. Not too much happening on the hop aroma, but the flavor is pretty decent. Very little bit of herbaceous. Not much in the fruit sort of thing going on, but totally decent.
Nice.
Not faulty.
What do you know about this brewery?
Well, they're a client of mine, so and my brother was there last week.
Oh, they got a tap room?
They got a tap room in Alice Springs. Yeah.
Very cool.
Apparently it's the best food and drink for pub food in Alice Springs Brewing Company.
That's awesome.
So it was really interesting. When I first spoke to Kyle from Alice Springs Brewing Company, he was a bit of a victim of his own success. The brewery was growing and growing and growing, and he couldn't keep up with production. He was very stressed. And then I started working with him, and we sort of worked on some stuff around the beer. They've hired a head brewer now, and he's very happy.
That's awesome.
Very happy. It's tough enough running a brewing company, and it shouldn't be stressful, and it shouldn't cost you your personal relationships or friendships or anything like that. Because at the end of the day, it's only
Okay.
it's true. It's tough. I know. Should have told you back in 2014 or 2015 or whatever it was. But it is a tough business, and I've seen lots of friends in the industry who've gone through some tough times out there and that sort of thing. And the thing that you need to constantly tell yourself if you're going to be in the brewing industry is it's only beer.
Yeah.
Right. And that's not a permission to to say we can be lazy, with quality or marketing or anything like that. But it's kind of like this holistic, very high level view of the business. It's like, it's only beer, relax,
Unless it's soft seltzer, and then that's a different.
Well, then it's only soft seltzer.
That's a different thing.
And yeah,
I've got an interesting situation here. So
what's wrong with your dog?
Can you hear that?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. He doesn't bark normally, but I'm in this new house, and I put him outside while I do the podcast. But when I talk, he goes crazy because remember he used to hump my leg when I talk.
Yeah, that's right.
So I put him outside, and now he's barking his fucking head off.
Well, we can't hear him hump your leg.
but I can feel it. And he looks at me weird.
Yeah.
It's uncomfortable.
He loves you.
So I let him in because this is a problem.
You can let him in.
Going to get pissed off. But
You can let him in.
Is this like teaching him that if he barks like an asshole, he'll get looked after?
I don't know. I'm not a dog trainer.
I'm gonna go let him
Go
in.
Get him.
This
Go
was
get
your
him.
idea, okay? If this goes,
Yeah,
to
okay.
shit.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep. This will be interesting. We'll see what happens here. I just can't believe he called his dog Elon. It's very interesting. I wonder why you would call your dog Elon. Oh, he's back.
Are you talking to yourself when I'm away, or how does that work?
No, I was talking about you.
Oh yeah. Oh, you little bastard.
Oh, he's humping already.
He's getting after it. This was a terrible idea. I knew this was a terrible.
Oh, I love the eye contact.
Look at him. He's the fucking coolest dog. I love him so much. But dude, you gotta not do this shit. Okay.
He's such a legend.
He's just such a legend. He's so cool.
Is he going to get any bigger?
Not too much, I don't think. No, you can't. You just can't do this. Daddy's got to work. Okay. Daddy's got to work. He's so thick, dude. Look at him.
I know. Just a chunky, muscly dog. Does he go to the gym?
He doesn't even
like he works out.
You know, the funny thing is, I went to a meetup of these dogs, these American bulldogs, and they had a treadmill there. There was someone that was selling like weight gain 3,000 type shit to get these dogs super jacked.
Oh, fuck off.
No joke. And there was a treadmill there that they were selling that has a hook at the front with a bit of food, and the dog just fucking treads along this treadmill to try and get after the food to get super jacked.
And it's like a resistance treadmill.
Yeah. And he was the skinniest dog there by a mile. Like these dogs were proper shredded city. And he was just like this tiny little skinny mini. Go out. Outside. You're a menace. Out.
Is that animal cruelty? I
Possibly.
don't even know.
Yeah. Maybe. I don't know either. I don't know. Well, the American ones, if you ever see like an American bulldog or like a pit bull in America, they chop their ears off. So they look like they're really like kind of pinned back. But in Australia, you don't do that because we don't mutilate animals in Australia.
No, you're not allowed to.
No, only humans sometimes. Not as much anymore. No, we don't chop bits off animals, do we, mate? He's pretty comfy. He's just sitting there, so that's good.
We've got any questions this week?
Yes. Well, we had the zero out, which is an interesting one. Let me see what else we've got here. We've got a Darren Hill question, which is standard. Darren says, "Oh, well, the other news thing we had was Coke selling to Feral. I don't think we talked about that one."
Oh, okay, yeah, we sort of touched on that. So, Coke selling Feral.
It's weird.
What do you think about that?
Well, I mean, I think it's. I'm always reluctant to say too much about these things, especially after the Stone and Wood thing, because I kind of think you got to be really careful with what you say. But what I've always said is I never want to sell because I don't like the idea because it just doesn't feel like a good outcome for what we do.
But would you buy?
Well, I mean, we don't have spare $50 or $60 million to buy Feral, but I guess it's another reason not to sell, isn't it? You know, you sell to someone, and then they just flog it off to someone else.
Well, that's right. But you know, Brendan Barris isn't there anymore. Not active. I don't think he's even involved in the business anymore. Hasn't been for a while. I don't know how I feel about that. Apart from the fact, I just feel a little bit of sense of opportunity. Opportunity is optimism. Let me call it optimism, because now that Feral is up for sale by a non-independent, there is the opportunity for it to become independent again.
That's true. I don't really know who buys Feral.
I don't know who would buy it
because I think like for me, from our point of view, Feral's a fucking epic brand. But
yeah,
I would only be interested like. If we had the opportunity to buy a really big production brewery somewhere like in WA, that sounds like a good opportunity. But to buy a brand for a smaller brand like us, it's not appealing. To a bigger brand, it probably is to create it. But like what independent beer wants to buy another brand that isn't their own brand? You know, like Stone and Wood, I guess, did a little bit of that, but not that kind of scale. Like
Who'd buy them though?
Who would buy them? I don't
Who would buy a Feral?
Like, who would the other big? What about Tribe?
Possibly. You know,
but they've already got the ability to make shitloads of beer where they are.
Yeah, it wouldn't be Mighty Craft / Founders First,
well,
because
Feral's worth more than Mighty Craft is
exactly, and they're out of cash. Well, they're not out of cash, but they're fully, you know, got their money working for them at the moment.
They haven't got. I mean, yeah. And it's not really their strategy to kind of buy.
I can't see Lion really making a second acquisition within 6 months, which really only leaves CUB.
But you said optimism about independence. CUB have said that they're not interested in buying any more breweries. Or Asahi have said that.
Yeah, but they don't have a WA brewery. That's the thing that they don't have.
Whenever I've been contacted by people about potentially catching up about these kinds of things, this is before the Stone and Wood thing. It's been Lion and Coke. We've never had any contact from anyone else, and we've never been interested in selling, so it's never gone anywhere. But I don't. To me, CUB doesn't really make a lot of sense. Lion to me doesn't make any sense.
Might be some interest from overseas, perhaps,
or just like a private equity group that gets together and thinks, you know, we can buy this off Coke at an actual okay price. Like whatever they get for it is probably a pretty good price compared to, you know, the Bolter sale or the Stone and Wood sale. And maybe they think they can give it a couple of years, and then
there would be some interest in it, but I'm just not quite sure where that interest would come from.
Yeah, I'm not super confident it's going to go back to being independent unless it's like one of these private equity firms, in which case it would be a temporary kind of thing, I feel.
It's an interesting one.
I hope it's good though, because it's a fucking great brand, and it would be great for that to
beers are good.
Going.
What's your favorite Feral beer?
Well, the Hop Hog was just a massive game-changing beer. So I think that's probably. It's been so long since I had one though that was kind of, that reminded me anything like the original one, because it's just not. You know, we're a long way from the brewery here. I don't kind of go out and buy beers from Ann Murphy's and whatnot anymore. I've never been over there. I know Eddie went there when he was in WA and said the place was epic.
One of my faves was before I even became a brewer. I used to live in WA and went to the Feral Brew Pub, and they had this beer called Rust.
Yeah,
it was very good. Couldn't even tell you what style it was. I just remember I really liked that beer. So
was it Karma Citra one? The black. That was a black IPA.
Black IPA. Yeah, that was good. Yeah. I mean, and
I think the barrel fermented hog was the last, because I was looking up this hottest 100 that's coming up. We're keen to try and get Pink Mist AWOL into the list as a barrel aged beer, because I know barrel aged beers haven't been in the list for a long time. And I think the last one is barrel fermented hog, which was, I think, something.
Or maybe Watermelon Warhead.
I don't think that was a barrel aged beer. Was it?
It might be. No, it's hard. Yeah, they don't make a lot of it. Never made a lot of it. So,
yeah.
But it's interesting because, like, you know, Hop Hog used to be the #1 beer in the hottest 100.
I know, that's crazy. That just took a massive dive, didn't it?
It's changed so much.
Has it changed that much, or was just they sold and that was it?
What, the hottest 100?
No, they had the beer.
Oh, no, people changed.
Yeah.
You know, the market changed.
But the market hasn't changed that much. Like the styles of beer that are doing well are still right up in that kind of style of beer, aren't they? That's what a hoppy pale ale has every chance of winning the hottest 100. It's more just the fact that they sold and people didn't like that.
It's an interesting one. I think people's tastes have changed. I'm just having a look here. Gab Spectacular, hottest 100. Here we go.
Well, they used to win quite a few years ago, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. So, look, people's tastes definitely change. Great Australian Beer Spectacular. They used to have on Wikipedia the hottest 100 winners.
We need Jamie here to pull up.
I know. I'm trying to look at it myself, but I'm just going quiet. They used to have a comprehensive list of the hottest 100 going right back, like when it started.
I think I know that I was sort of first and second there for a while, but I know after the sale it just plummeted, and I think so did Green Beacon, so did a bunch of these companies, and I think it was Bolter that was literally the only one to not plummet. And Stone and Wood, I assume, will be the second one because I can't see them doing too badly in the list. They might not win. They probably won't win, but they'll be in there. They'll be up there.
Yeah, it's interesting though. Oh, that's that. Oh no, that's not it. Anyway, fuck it. Not eat a bloody look at the internet.
Good beer. Good beer. Great.
Good beer. I hope it becomes independent again, but I don't hold out too much hope.
Well, I put in the group it would be good to get Brendan on the show, but I don't. I've met him a couple of times, but I don't know him. I don't have his phone.
I think he's like semi-retired now, mate.
But whatever, he can take a phone call. Get him on the show. Have a chat. Get him on board.
I like BV. He's a legend.
Yeah, hit him up.
What else? What else you got there?
Number. So Darren Hill. Well, this is on topic. Darren Hill says best and worst big craft acquisitions. Who's done it well? Who's struggled? Have we talked about that enough, or do you think that's worth?
Did we do that last week?
I don't know.
Give me someone else. We did that last week.
This is actually a pretty good one. You, one of my accountants, and serial question asker. Localism, locals supporting locals, making it hard to get into other locations, which is actually something that is a thing. It's something that
Jamie
Mazen
talks about that a lot. Mazen talks about it. Jamie talks about being hyper local, and that's where the growth is in craft brewing, in his opinion. And
no, this is the downside of that, which is it becomes easier to sell in your local market, but it becomes hard to grow a business when everyone is supporting local. So you can't really expand. And we've found this, to some extent, because we've got a good following locally. We don't have a lot. Sydney and Melbourne, we don't have a lot, and they're the big markets. And they're all supporting local, and same as Queensland. Like Mazen talked about pulling reps out of Queensland. A lot of people have done that. They kind of find it hard to come up to Queensland and sell beer.
It's like we've gone full circle from the days in which Queenslanders drank 4X and New South Welshmen drank 2Es and Victorians drank VB or Carlton Draft, and then the mega breweries really homogenized it, and then 4X Gold became Australia's biggest selling beer. And then we kind of like, it's the consumers who are really driving that hyper local trend,
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of good in a way, isn't it? Like I've always been happy enough if we can keep selling beer locally, then that's cool with me. But I guess you get to a point where it's hard to grow the business if you can't expand outside your local area.
Yeah. I think what you got to do is not, like if you're, having run a brewing company and that sort of thing, the further geographically you are away from the brewery, like the further you got to stretch, figuratively sort of stretch your arm, the harder it is to sort of put your print on, that patch.
Yeah.
And I think that you have to, it's okay to grow your geographic territory, but it's got to be incremental,
Yeah.
So in your case, it's going to be, heading south, lots of tourists down there and all that sort of stuff, and that sort of thing, and then heading north, up Sunshine Coast and beyond, and that sort of thing.
So even Sunny Coast, it's tough to sell beer on the Sunny Coast. There's a lot of good breweries there. There's a lot of people who've been there for a while. There's a lot of support for locals. It's the local residents living there, selling beer made locally. A lot of support for that, which you love, and there should be.
Yes.
And for us, like we don't have a tap room up there. I think the tap room thing is important too, because we've grown our whole business based off the tap rooms, not because. Yeah, I guess we're not the only ones.
Put a fucking tap room on the Sunny Coast.
the other thing about that is you have to be prepared to actually run it and actually go there and do all of that. Like, it's not that easy. It's not even just having one in Brisbane. Like we've always got a good reason to go to Brisbane, but Brisbane is far enough to go. Like, we've thought about doing tap rooms in other states, and it's like, I hope you got some staff who are happy to go there or live there or find someone down there, because it's a lot of extra work, and you need people who are prepared to do the travel and find good people in the local area to work for a company that's outside of the area. So it's all pretty
infill
challenging.
is what you've got to do. Infill. You've got to sort of, you've got a good footprint in, you're good at where you're good at. And then from there, you just got to infill and grow within that place where you're already at and grow slowly outside of it.
Yeah. Well, that's happened with us. Our tap rooms, really, we've just grown. We started in Burleigh, grew out from there, went to the north end of the Goldie, grew out from there, went to Brisbane, grew out from there. And
has Brisbane helped? Has the Brisbane tap room helped Black Ops sales and say Dan's and all sorts of stuff? And
I think so. Yeah. I mean, it's hard. It's very hard to measure, but it is good to know that, like, Brisbane's a really good market for us. Niall does a great job up there.
Because there's been breweries before who have had aspirations to open breweries in other capital cities in Australia. There's, years ago, Young Henry's had the aspiration to have their brewery in Newtown, one in Adelaide, one in Western Australia, which become Beer Farm and that sort of thing.
Oh, what happened there? I don't know the history.
Oh, it just didn't pan out. Probably for the same reasons that you're talking about now.
Yeah, because you have to actually be keen to go there and keep it running and all of that. It's really tough.
Yeah. It was a thing that was sort of talked about, or mooted, but never really transpired and that sort of thing. And probably for the same reasons. It's like, you're very close to your staff and your customers and know them by their first name. And the moment you sort of go and you don't get to see them every day, or you're walking in the office, you go, hey Toshi, how you doing, mate? All that sort of stuff. Then how do those staff connect with the company culture?
Yeah.
And the brand,
and a long way away too. Like Brizzy's an hour away, and we can catch up. The tap room manager, I catch up with him every week, and one of us is going up there every week, so it's easy enough. But imagine having a brewery in WA, and I mean, just traveling.
That said, though, Brewdog seemed to do it quite well.
Yep.
Somehow they managed to do that quite well.
See, that to me seems super challenging. Like, who else has done? I guess McKellar have done that too, haven't they?
They don't have too many outlets, but they've got McKellar Bar was one in Tokyo.
Yeah, I went to one in Japan.
There's a brewery in San Diego. Where else are they? I think it's.
I just saw one in Japan and assumed that meant that they were everywhere.
No. So have you been to the one in Japan?
Yeah, I've been to the one in Japan. Yeah. The beers there.
It's very small.
The brewery. It was tiny. It was
very small and very expensive.
The beers were very good.
Yeah, it's very expensive though.
Yeah. I was on holidays. $0. I sent it.
Making it rain.
Yeah, but most of the beers I had weren't McKellar beers. They were Jester King, and I think they had like a tap takeover of all these amazing sours, and I was just losing my shit. It was great. Yeah. Brewdog. I mean, are they the only one that are kind of doing this really well?
Well, have you been to many of the Brewdog bars around the world?
Yeah. Oh well, no, I've been to the one in Tokyo, and obviously Brizzy.
Any others?
No, but I've seen photos. They look bloody good.
I went to the Brewdog bar in Berlin. They have the brewery as well, but I've been to the Brewdog bar.
They bought the Stone one, so that was another one that didn't work out, wasn't it? The Stone kind of over there.
No, that's right. Yeah, exactly. Stone tried to expand from San Diego into Europe and realized that
fucking hard.
It's fucking hard because the German beer market is hard, right? You're competing against $1 Augustina Brau world-class Munich Helles.
Yeah. Brewdog, how do they go there? They're still sending it?
I don't know. I think for them, it's a way in which they can get their beer into Europe, the EU, without the issues around being in Brexit land. So I think it actually works for them now. But their bars are very similar, almost. And I don't mean to disrespect them, but they have a really good system. It's very McDonald's-like, and I say McDonald's-like as in It's not a comment on the beer or anything like that. But it's very systemized.
Yeah,
it's very systemized, and they're able to replicate that system all over the world, with and have a little bit of local flair and that sort of thing. It's like it's tough to grow your geographic location, and anyone who can pull it off, bloody good on them.
Yeah, from what I've seen of them, like I know they get a lot of heat, but from what I've seen of what they do, they seem to do a bloody good job. Like that the Tokyo one was good. I actually have got a thing written on the wall of that Tokyo one, or it was when I was there anyway. I had like a cheers from Black Ops, because you get to write on the wall if you're from another brewery, I think. So if any of our listeners happen to go there.
Was that Brewdog or Mikella?
Brewdog.
Yeah.
In Tokyo. There's a little message on there from Black Ops, which is cool.
Yeah. Nice.
And the Brisbane brewery's fucking great. It's a great operation. Good food, amazing. They did a great job.
The food looks amazing.
Yeah.
The venue looks amazing. And thank God they put some shade sails out the front, which is great. And they're expanding it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny. I mean, everyone kind of thought, oh, this is crazy. You're putting a brewery in Murray. And then meanwhile, they've just been cranking ever since. So good on them.
Yeah. Before the pandemic, I remember just flying in, onto Brisbane Airport on a Tuesday afternoon. You go, oh, Brewdog's packed today. It's Tuesday. What's going on?
Turns out it's a great location. So, I mean, they're not even from here, and they've figured that out. They obviously know what they're doing. All right. Well, who else? Who else is, before we get off that topic, in Australia, the Australian breweries have done this multiple venue thing. Like you got the Mighty Craft, which have got multiple brands, but is there any other brand you can think of? I'm just trying to think as I talk. Is there any that are kind of...
Well, Fermentation have sort of done that, but it's different brands within the group.
Different brands. Is there anyone who's kind of done their own? Like I guess Range have got the Melbourne site, but it's not another brewery.
No, it's just a bar.
There's probably someone we're not thinking of, but it's not really happened a lot, has it?
It's interesting.
Opportunity, not for me, because I don't really like traveling, and it's too hard.
What, since COVID?
No, I just don't like being away from home. You have to be. If you want to run a business away from, it's fucking hard enough to run a business near your house.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah. All right, we got one more question, which I thought was probably too technical for the podcast, but
let's have a look.
Fucking send it anyway, because it's the last question in our list.
Well, this could be a question for you.
No, definitely not. I don't know my flannel on. I'm not going to know how to answer this. So this is from Scott Eckford, bottle conditioning and oxidation.
Right.
I have some questions about packaging bottle conditioned beers. General thoughts about excluding or reducing or reduction of oxygen when bottle conditioned beers. How much oxygen is required for secondary fermentation in a bottle? Is CO2 purging viable? And so on and so on. I don't know.
And expectations about stability, duration of bottle conditioned beers.
Yeah.
I think I'm not wearing my red flannel, mate, but I think I got this one,
All right. Hit me with the hendo, because we just put our first beer into, well, not really our first beer. Our first AWOL beer into bottles went in 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. Did you bottle condition it?
Yeah.
Toshi's a master.
Saison.
Yep,
we borrowed the bottling machine from Currumbin Valley, so shout out to those guys.
Oh, okay. Yeah. The Widowmaker. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so here's the go. Right. So bottle conditioning. I've done a lot of bottle conditioning over the years. When I started my career, I worked at Brickley Moses, Otway Estate, and they bottle conditioned all their beers, stubbies. Right. So we would bottle beers with like one of those gravity fillers. And I know I'm doing these ones, but that's literally what it was like.
Can you do that?
And
I enjoyed that.
Like this. It was like this, like milking a cow, but not quite.
Okay.
And then we would stick the pallets of beer into a warm room for a week or so to re-ferment, and then we would send it out into the market.
Really?
So
say that again. Into a warm room.
Warm room, yeah.
Oh, to make it quicker.
So the beer's bottled cold.
Oh, warm as in just ambient in a warehouse.
No, it was it was basically a insulated room with a little one of those air or oil heaters in there.
What does that do?
Well, it heats the room to about 22 degrees Celsius, but it's very cold out there. So,
I see.
All right, so
Sorry,
just
I'm from
maintain
Queensland. I don't understand this.
Constant temperature. It's Victoria, mate.
Okay, understood.
Anyway, so bottle conditioning and oxidation, right? So, to answer the question, general thoughts about excluding or reduction of oxidization with bottle conditioned beers. You should always try and minimize the oxygen pickup when you're actually moving the beer. But when you're bottle conditioning a beer, usually it's going to be in some sort of gravity filler thing, not really some counter pressure situation, because if it was counter pressure, it'd be closed and therefore it could be forced carbonated. Right. So there is always inevitably going to be some oxygen pickup with bottle conditioned beers. You should still aim to minimize that, because the damage from oxygen starts to happen within 20 to 30 minutes or so. Okay. It's not like a gray line, your beer's fucked in 20 minutes, but the damage starts to happen that quickly. So you should always minimize that. So that kind of answers that question. How much oxygen is required for secondary fermentation in a bottle? As little as possible.
Right. So you don't need the oxygen in it. It's only doing harm.
Yeah. So to answer the third question, is CO2 purging a viable option? Yes, it should be, because again, you want to minimize the oxygen pickup. Okay. But the thing is, you're always going to get some oxygen. Now, the really good thing is because you're doing a secondary fermentation in the bottle, is that yeast, when they start fermenting, take up the oxygen, right? You know how you aerate your wort when you're on brew day and that sort of thing?
I know.
After you put the hops in and that sort of thing?
After I do the dry hop, yeah.
That's right. After you do the dry hop.
Yep.
That's because yeast need oxygen at the start of fermentation for yeast health. Well, the same applies when you're bottling. If you want those yeast to re-ferment, if there's oxygen there, that's kind of good for them, for cell reproduction and stuff like that. So what the yeast do is actually clean up the oxygen, right? They actually have a positive effect in that they clean up the oxygen. So in that respect, it's actually a good insurance policy against oxidizing your beer by bottle conditioning it. Remember I was talking last week about Southern Bay Hop Bazooka?
Yeah.
So we actually partially bottle conditioned that beer. So, and we did it to preserve the hops, in that we knew the bottle filler was shit, right? And so we went, right, what we'll do is we'll partially carbonate it, and then we'll partially dose it with some sugar, then bottle it, knowing that those hop compounds would be preserved. So about maybe 3/4 of the carbonation was forced carb, and the remainder was bottle conditioning.
Yeah.
And it really made that beer really, really good. So yes, bottle conditioning is a good thing. You should minimize your oxygen pickup, but if you do pick up oxygen, the yeast will actually deal with that oxygen.
Right.
And that's my answer to that question.
Good answer. So now I've got a couple of follow-up questions. One is, can you bottle beer and not bottle condition?
Of course you can.
Right. And the other one is...
Yeah, you can counter pressure fill a bottle.
Yeah. But you need a better bottling line, right?
No, they're better. They're actually better for counter pressure filling than a can. Right. Because the thing is, because a bottle's so rigid, when you're purging a bottle, you can actually apply negative pressure, and actually, so you can put CO2 in the bottle, and then you can suck it out with some negative pressure, and then you can put CO2 in, you can suck it out with negative pressure. If you put negative pressure on a can, it collapses.
Yeah, yep.
Right?
You can't suck it out.
So in some respects, they're better for purging prior to filling.
Yeah. Second question was, can you can condition?
There is absolutely no reason why you couldn't can condition. None. You were thinking of giving it a shot?
No. I wonder if anyone does it, and why not? Is part of it the fact that it's a little bit unpredictable how much pressure you got in there, and more likely to kind of pop the seal?
No. A good brewer knows how much priming sugar to add to achieve the right level of carbonation. and taking into consideration the headspace and all that sort of thing. No, there's no reason why you can't can condition.
Does anyone do that?
Not that I know of. Not that I know of.
I guess
I'm sure it's been done.
Are probably set up.
I'm sure it's been done. You could do it.
No, I'm not keen to. I was just
no, you can can condition some AWOL beers if you want to chuck them through the canning line. It wouldn't be that tricky.
Yeah. So, am I right in saying Cooper's Little Creatures are all still bottle conditioned?
I believe that's the case. Yeah.
Yeah. So they're probably the biggest ones, are they? Like, do the big companies do that? Or?
Yeah. And again, like I said, is that like the yeast will take up that oxygen and remove the oxygen from the beer and stop it damaging the beer. That's part of the reason why they do it.
Yeah. Yeah. Very good. Maybe Hop Hog in the bottle might be bottle conditioned. I don't know.
Oh, who knows? Who knows?
Ask Brandon when we get him on the show.
That was a very technical question.
It was, yeah. No, I've been sitting on that one for a while.
No, that's okay. We should elicit some feedback from our audience. If you think that that question was too technical, say that's too technical, and let us know. If not, maybe we can talk some more technical shit.
Yeah. Do you want more? Do you want more Brewer or do you want more Boss?
Well, I think it's a yin and yang, mate.
Yeah.
And we'll see how it all plays out. Balance. You need the balance in life.
We do. We can survey the group.
Yeah. Failing that, you've been bloody pestering me about it for years. I should go start a technical brewing fucking podcast.
Oh, mate.
Now that I know how you did it and how easy it is.
I sent it. I'll help you out with it. Easy. I'll help you get that done. The other one is James from Crafty Pint. If that guy doesn't start a podcast,
he'd be fascinating.
He's got to do it. We should get him on here. We'll get him on here, and then he'll be like, "Oh shit, this is easy," like you just said.
Yeah.
And then I'll make the same offer to him. I'll say, "I'll just set it all up for you."
Yeah.
Then give it to your crew, and you bloody get on the microphone every week and talk to somebody. He's doing it anyway on his phone. He's great at talking to people.
Yeah.
Be perfect for it. We just get him on anyway because that'd be fun.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea. I'll give him a call.
All right. Thanks, Hendo. That was good.
Hey, man. Thank you very much. Thanks, everyone, for listening.
Absolutely.
And we'll see you next week.
Cheers. See you, mate.